Hi, friends, and welcome to a super special conversation that I am so excited to be having with my amazing friend, Tracy Litt.
Hello, hello. I'm so pumped to be able to do this and to be hanging out with all of you.
Exactly. So, Tracy and I met in the fall about 6 months ago when we were both guest speakers at our mutual friend Emily Benson's retreat in Chicago, and we instantly clicked and connected. And so I am really, really excited, especially right now, to be having a conversation about how everything that you want is one choice away, no matter what anybody else might be telling you, no matter what your own brain might be telling you in this current situation. Tracy is a powerhouse. She is a fellow best speaking author of the book Worthy Human, which is so good. And she has such wisdom to share around how to utilize that super powerful supercomputer of yours to make a difference in the world right now for yourself, for your family, and for everyone else collectively. And so Tracy, again, is such a powerhouse. She is like the definition of the word. And I am so excited to have her in the house. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so excited to do this. As you said, when we met, we were like, yep, let's be together. And I love that we get to have these kind of conversations like we were talking about in the green room before we went live. You know, just having real, raw dialogue.
Yep.
Publicly. That's really the trick, right? Just like showing up, serving, and talking what's real, what's raw. And I'm pumped to do this.
Me too. And we have been voxing about this, preparing for this, and for the last several days. And I know that you and I both have some challenges going on in our life in addition to what's going on collectively. But I want to say, like, we are home, we are healthy, and we are here to help. And so I think everything that we're going to share comes from that place, right? Of just like, we want to help. We're here to help, which is why we have made the time with a house full of people of all sorts to have this conversation.
That's right. And ultimately, we're so lucky because we get to help every day. Right. Yes. I find like, so we're coaches, we're teachers,
yep.
And we work with a lot of coaches, teachers, healers, creatives, leaders. That's what we do. And now it's an opportunity for more conversations, higher level conversations, and really checking in with yourself on realizing that this is the time to lead.
Yes.
This is the time to step up, ladies.
Yes.
Right. And that's what, one choice away is the underpinning. My work is choice work, right? We're always one choice away from anything that we want. And I'm just excited to be doing this with you right now.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So within that frame, I know we're going to talk about how we're one choice away with all of these ideas that we want to bring to you. And I think the first one that we really wanted to dive into was how to understand what's happening in this unprecedented time. That's the word, right? That everyone keeps using.
Yeah.
How to not only understand what's happening, but use it to create unlimited opportunities to serve and make a difference in history. So, Tracy, from your perspective, how are we one choice away when it comes to showing up, serving, and creating unlimited opportunities for ourselves right now?
Well, the real true one choice away is how you choose to see this, whether or not you, right? But really like the one choice, which is so interesting because to get me to tell you one thing is laughable because I have so much to say and I have so many tangents and practices to share. But the true singular choice is how you are going to choose to look at this.
Yes.
What lens are you seeing this through?
Yes.
It is either going to be one of opportunity and growth and self-discovery and higher level service and the long game of the legacy that you are here to create, or it is going to be myopic and filled with fear and anxiety and hiding and hesitation.
Yes.
And you need to make that choice right now, because that lens will dictate everything else that comes after it.
100%. I could not agree with you more. And what I love about that is that this is ultimately the only choice that we have to make in our lives anyway, right? I so identify with this your work and your choice work. And it's one of the reasons I love you so much and love your book and love everything that you do, because this is the reason that I am here today. This is the reason that I started Life with Passion, because I realized after I lost my daughter, Maeve, I had a choice. It was literally that simple. It came down to the choice of what I was going to do with this thing, whether I was going to let it define me negatively or positively, right? And everything that has come after that in the last 5 years has been out of that one choice. And so what if this is the same opportunity for you? If you are listening to this, watching this, I'm getting chills just thinking about this.
I am all kinds of like, whoo, up and down. Yeah.
I love that. And this is your opportunity to take a situation that is for so many people scary and negatively defining and go, I'm home, I am healthy, I want to help, and I can decide to do that today, right?
Yes, 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 yes. And there's two things that are coming out of that for me. So ultimately, the first one choice away is, are you a victim or are you a warrior?
Yep.
Are you imprisoned or are you empowered? Right?
Yes. Hashtag that.
Right? Just period. And then once you make that choice, allow all the other micro choices to come off that one singular larger decision.
Yes.
And here's the other thing to what you were just saying also. Your initial response is very human, right? The newness and uncertainty of what is happening, it is appropriate, it is reasonable, and it is super great and human of you to have the initial response of fear, anxiety, worry because of the uncertainty. So I want to underscore this because I'm listening to a lot of conversations. I'm observing a lot being in the growth industry, right? You're not wrong for being human. The question becomes, how long are you going to sit in that once you understand that it's simply your wiring trying to keep you alive? You're either going to perpetuate the survival cycle or you're going to go, whoa, 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 I have all the power.
Yes.
What can I do?
Yes. Because this is literally the way your brain is designed. It's designed to go, something new is scary. It doesn't matter if it's going on Facebook Live for the first time to talk about your business or if it's a pandemic. Your brain is like, oh, it's so scary. It's so new, right? And so how long, like you said, how long are you going to sit in that? And also recognizing that there are probably going to be a lot of triggers that are going to send you right back there in the midst of all of this, because every day is different, right? So how much are you catching yourself, right?
Yes. Well, I love this. Yes, yes, yes. You guys, this is why we have conversations in public, because we just jam out. That's why.
We do.
So what has been coming up that I have now shared a few times is, this is the personal growth retreat you never signed up for. Right? This is, and it is happening in the comfort of your own home. So this is an opportunity for you to pay attention to why you're tweaked off or how much hiding you're doing, right? Yes. Or, it's so interesting, this whole conversation about, do I keep doing my business or do I not? Is it good to market right now or not? Don't kid yourself. That's just a reflection of the lack you've been sitting in the whole time. It's just that this is exacerbating it.
So good. Yes, because, right, all these questions around is it okay to sell? Am I being opportunistic? My answer for that would be, if you're here to serve, you're never taking advantage. You're here to serve. And that's those are the people who are in our communities, Tracy. So I think we can say with confidence, if you know one of us, then you and you like one of us, or now both of us, because obviously, then you're here to serve. You're here to make an impact. You want to make a difference in the world, and you want to make an income that takes care of yourself and your family doing that. You've chosen to like marry the two, right? And so it gets to be both, and it doesn't have to be one or the other, even now, right?
Well, especially now. And I think that's the big thing when I say this is a personal, like this is a self-discovery moment for you. If you do find yourself feeling like, but I don't know if I should post this, and I don't know, and you're questioning it, and you are hesitating on continuing that launch or doing that Facebook Live or selling in your business, what I need you to understand is that's not because of Corona. That is an indication that you have something deeper in your own limitations that is being brought to light as a result of Corona.
Can you give us an example, Tracy?
Yes. Like I was going to do this launch, but now I'm not going to actually move forward and doing it. By the way, for those who launch, like offer something in my business. Let me simplify. I want to offer something in my business, and I was about to, but now Corona's here, and I don't know if I really should be. I don't know if that's insensitive.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's an indication that you were struggling with marketing your business before this.
Ding, 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 ding.
Right? Like that's an indication that you have some belief work to do in general, and some power work to do in what you believe about sales, period, about marketing, period.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Does that make that land as an example?
100%. And I have been having some great conversations with people around this very thing, right? So not only is it an opportunity to go, am I here to serve? Well, then I get to keep serving. People need help now more than ever.
Yes.
To your point.
Yes.
And it's also an opportunity to go, like, what do people need to hear? Like, how can I help? If someone's feeling afraid to sell, probably other people are feeling afraid to sell, right? So I can talk about that. I can talk about how it's okay, right? I can talk about how, hey, I know this is a scary time, and more than ever, it's your opportunity, right? Like if you are serving, talk to your people, whether you have a Facebook group, whatever your community looks like, talk to people about how now is the time to show up for themselves. Talk to people about, I did something like jokingly called like how to leverage your lockdown, right? Because for so many of us, again, if we're home, we're healthy and we want to help, this is an amazing open door opportunity where we have bandwidth. We're not commuting. If we normally commute, we're not getting ready in the morning. All of this time, even if you have to lock yourself in the bathroom, hand raised, right, is an opportunity, or sit in the car, also hand raised, like is an opportunity to leverage this extra time, this extra bandwidth, and do something to help serve, right?
Yeah, 1,000%. And the other part of what you were saying, this extra time, right? So I've been referring to it as the meantime, right? So let's create this little vignette. One day, very, very soon, okay? Like super soon, and I super promise, and I guarantee everyone this, guarantee. This is going to be over.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to be super soon. Like relative to life, it's going to be super soon. Whether that means 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or 8 weeks, or 10 weeks, it's going to be super soon. And the door is going to fly open, and the sun's going to be shining, and life is going to resume. And you will then be able to look back on this meantime. And I want you to decide now, how do you want to show up? Who do you want to be? How do you want to have prioritize yourself and your health and wellness, right? It's like you're either going to open that door the day that this is over, that I'm promising you guys, you're going to open that door, and you're either going to be like, feels so good. I played the long game. I showed up. I brought revenue into my business. I kept working out using all these great online resources. I kept eating healthy. Oh my God, I'm closer to my kids than I've ever been. My husband and I found ways to have sex sneaking around the house. We did all these things, right? Like it's either going to be that, or the door is going to open and you're going to be like, I'm 9 pounds heavier. I did nothing in my business. I was pretty much low on myself and agitated with my kids. I didn't get any closer in my connections. Like, that's just the way it always goes. So decide, guys, because we get in this weird space when we're quarantined. It feels like everything stopped, but it's not.
It's not.
And that's where you got to get really aware that time's going to go by. And then when it's over, do you want to be behind the 8 ball or do you want to be in front of it?
Yes. Yes. And frankly, I think this is really opening a lot of people's eyes who maybe had a lot of stories or excuses around why they couldn't start their own business, working from anywhere, working from home, online, to how you can, how you actually can. Because all you actually need, and you and I are both living proof of this, is an internet connection, right?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
You reach the other billions of people who are online. And now you're home and you have the opportunity to like take next steps with that. So yes, to your point, right? What are you going to do? And also it's okay if you feel frustrated and have to go sit in your car and yell for a minute because your kids are driving you crazy. Like, I'm going to own that up.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think this is really, really important. Really important. And for me, it's the danger of resilience. Okay. Because I think there's a dark side to resilience, especially for the high level women we are talking to and that we serve. We are ambitious and we are doers and blah, 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 whatever the rest of it is for you. This is not about, I need to keep it all together.
No.
This is not about some gratitude bypass. This is not about, it's this beautiful balance of be grateful, you're happy, you're healthy, you're together, but also realize that we're home now in a world where I'm usually home doing my own thing. I'm now home with 3 teenagers fluttering around, a husband who's now running his business from home, right? And all of these other variables. And sometimes I just need to lose my shit.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. And wanting to. So to Christine's point, go in the garage. Right? Scream. Sometimes I've actually had to do this and preface. I'm like, you guys, I'm going to go in the garage. Nothing's wrong.
Yes.
Like, you're going to hear some stuff in there. Nothing's wrong.
You're going to hear some stuff.
I'm not killing myself or anybody else or wounding animals, but something's going to go on in there and I got to let it out and I'll be back. And you do, and you scream it out, punch it out, cry it out, and then come right back into whatever it is you're focusing on.
Yep. This morning, I had a really chaotic morning with my kids. My 9-month-old has the flu and had to go and get screened for coronavirus. And it's been this really intense, it's the sickest she's ever been. And we're all home and, everything, right? My husband's home, 3-year-old's like, where can I get on my energy? And we're all sensitive and we're all picking up each other's stuff in the collective world at large, which I think any of us who are sensitive tend to, right? We tend to be empathetic and feel what other people are feeling. And so my parents came over and I was like, you guys, I need to just drive somewhere and sit in the car. I just need to drive somewhere and sit in the car and tap, do EFT, which you and I are going to talk about, and breathe and prepare myself to have this conversation and serve in this way from a grounded place, because I know how to get myself there. And also I know I'm not going to get there if all 6-7 people are swirling around, Mom, what else I need, right? Like that's how it is. And so, but it can also switch so quickly when you use some of these tools and you have the intention. So I'm in the car and I'm driving back from where I sat for a half hour and I'm like tapping and breathing. And within 7 minutes, I'm like, I'm good. I feel completely different than I did 7 minutes ago because I just turned off the fight or flight in my brain. And now I can show up the way I want to.
Yes. And that's how powerful we are. We have all the power. You always have. You always will. Stop looking outside of yourself or waiting for someone to show up with a silver platter. You have, and when you hone these things, and that's why we do this kind of work, and you work with Christine or I or others like us. There's so many magnificent, beautiful people in this growth industry that can help you, right? So that you can own that power and make the choices you need to make to shift your state so that you can show up powerfully the way that you want to show up. Because the days of the outside dictating the inside are long gone. And if you haven't heard that yet, it's time to wake up.
Yes. I love that. And I think it's taking a while for people to learn this, because it was for so long, it was the paradigm, right? Now we have this different paradigm, and it feels very new, and it's still going to be a while before it's normal for our DNA, right? And so it takes proactivity, like what you're talking about. So tell me how you are finding yourself and helping your community and your clients like guard against this whole collective panic, and be proactive and create what we want.
Yeah, I think, well, the first piece in being how we're seeing this, right? Like we said at the top of the show, that's really, really important, is your commitment to, are you going to show up and lead or not?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then really being able to harness your personal power in a way where you don't let it in, right? Like it's realizing that other people could, and this is the beauty of people, you guys, we're all just watching everyone's belief systems in action. Calm down. Okay. You don't need to have an opinion about it. Like that was the post I made yesterday. Like everyone responds differently. You don't need to have an opinion about it, but we are so highly judgmental of ourselves and of everybody else. And when you can talk about or have an opinion about how other people are responding, then you take the focus off yourself. Which is the opposite of what we need you to do, right? Stay in your lane, let everyone do, react, respond how they want to. And if you choose to engage in that, recognize and be conscious about it, that you're taking yourself off track of your own, furthering your own life and your own business, right? And you're allowing yourself to be susceptible to what you're saying, which is social amplification, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Instead, it's just like, nope, I'm going to curate what comes into me. I don't turn the news on. I look in the morning, I look at the CDC, and I look at the World Health Org.
Thank you.
To check some stats and things that are fact-based scientific things. But otherwise, that's it. And then continuing to move the ball forward. And whatever we had planned in our businesses, keep it going. I have to say this. We have a responsibility as business owners, especially as online business owners, to not waver and to continue to show up. Because if you stand back and you don't make your offers and you don't show up, you are making a massive problem for everyone in the rest of the world. We have to call it out. We are a massive part of the economy, right? And of the abundance, and stopping is a major disservice.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I love that you addressed, because I was going to ask, I know people are going to say, okay, what's the difference between what you guys are talking about and burying your head in the sand? We're not talking about that. We're recognizing that we have, we're taking full ownership and responsibility for being mothers and business owners and citizens of the world. We want to
but
right?
Yes. And you know what's coming up right now, which I think is so interesting too. Whatever you say or ask, guys, just know it's a reflection of shit you need to work on. Okay. Because even that question or that statement is flawed. You're burying your head in the sand. You can still be responsible, but not panic.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. You can recognize everyone else is panicking, but I am like informing myself.
Exactly. And it's not about burying your head in the sand or, positive thinking. It's like, I don't have to have it consume me, right? I can understand it. This is the crux of your base superpower in choosing your response, right? This is the base of stimulus into feeling, or stimulus into choice into feeling.
Yes.
Right? Like, I will bring this up again. I talked about this on the Panic to Peace Live. Viktor Frankl's work, A Man's Search for Meaning. Okay? Talk about even what you were talking about, Christine, in your loss, right? You and I have had an extraordinary amount of triumph in our personal lives, right? And here we have this guy, Viktor Frankl, who is in Auschwitz in the Holocaust, and his whole concept of the actual pure hell that was going on around this man, his inner environment. Nope. He was at such choice. You feel that, right? He was at such choice. And that's how powerful we are too. right? Because you're not changing the outside. That's not what growth work is. You're not like some powerful unicorn all of a sudden. That's not the point. It's understanding the depth and the breadth of the choices you have to respond and the lens with which you want to see that external stimuli.
Yes.
In a way that's helpful.
Yes. Yes, because, we talk about the reticular activating system, right? And the power of this little part of our brain that we all have to choose how to line up and match make our beliefs with what we see. So if I'm always thinking about the color red because I love the color red, I'm going to always spot red things first, right? And same is true for if I'm like, the world is a scary place right now. I'm going to find things to match that up. If I'm like, there's opportunity in this, I'm here to serve, I'm here to help at every level, then I am going to be finding other people who are doing the same thing to collaborate. I'm going to be looking for ways to respond. I'm going to be writing emails from that place that people feel, right? And feel connected to and use the work to better themselves. And so when you choose to come from that place, that this quote that I really resonate with from Charles Swindoll about how 90% of life is how you respond to the 10% that happens to you. That's 90%. Right. It's not like 49, 51, 90%, right? And that's so applicable right now because this thing is happening in the world.
Correct.
And 90% of what is going to come out on the other side is your pure choice in how you choose to look at it.
1,000%. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Cheers my bone broth to you.
Cheers to your bone broth. I just finished my smoothie, so I can't, but I could cheers you my smart water, which I firmly believe makes me smarter. Therefore it does, because you become what you believe. So
exactly.
So 1,000% what you're saying. And something else that I don't know what about what you just said made me think of this, but I know it's really, really applicable to the women that are hanging out with us and talking about businesses and moving it forward is, hold on one second. Okay. Sorry. There was just a small disruption. Okay. All right. So my apologies, everyone. We're back. See, and this is also a variable, right? We're live and we're working in the house and we have everybody home, and I'm no longer in my office because we had a interior mold situation. So talk about choice. Like, my roof is tarped right now. My entire office is now in my dining room, and it's like, whatevs. Didn't even cross my mind to care about it. We're just doing our thing. Right. So what came up for me there was, there has been this reoccurring question of, well, but if I show up and I am serving, right, and I continue doing business as usual, right, but even with a heightened sense of showing up even more, what if people think I'm taking advantage? What if people perceive that as, you know what I mean? Have you heard that from your clients?
Yeah.
And people? Okay, I'm just checking in because I've been picking up a lot on it.
Yep.
And they will. People are going to judge you no matter what you do. And I just want to point that out. Like, you're never going to work in a space where you are trying to make sure that everyone's cool with it if you know where you're coming from. You know that you have some way to serve. Yep. You know your motive is pure and loving and based in service and altruistic. Then you don't need to worry about another thing. Mm-mm. Right? Because people are going to judge you. You're going to have handful of people who are like, I can't believe she's selling. Those are not your people.
Yep. 100%.
Right? Yep. So just get out of that, even like part of the talk track in your mind. Yep. Because, we're not pizza. We're not pleasing everyone.
That's right. That's right. But I appreciate you, pizza.
Right.
So I can speak to this as well, like this growth journey that I've been on, and probably you too, Tracy. But what I found was that like my life so profoundly changed so fast when I lost Maeve, right? It was like in an instant. Mm-hmm. And I chose this path of personal development at a deep level in a new way that I had never done before. Mm-hmm. And what I found is that I was becoming a different person. And therefore, like I needed to renegotiate all of the relationships in my life as the new person, as the post, growth journey person, as the post Maeve person. Yeah. Not the same as this person that I was before all of these these, experiences and choices. And so I think that it's important to acknowledge that, like, if there's some friction going on right now, like my husband literally said to me when I walked in the door from the car, "Did you just go sit in the car?" I was like, "Uh-huh." And I just left it at that. Like, there's zero justification. Like, homeboy gets to go upstairs in his office with his noise canceling headphones and get on his conference calls, right? I'm like, mommy, diapers, literal bodily fluids. Like, it's all different, So it's recognizing, and I remember when I first heard this, right, that some people are not your people. That felt scary to me because I used to be a people pleaser. But what I now know is that the people who have remained in my life and the people who've come into my life are like such an amazing tribe of people where we're all on this journey together, surrounding each other. We're like soul sisters, and like you, Tracy. And it's just like, I don't even think about that stuff anymore.
Exactly.
Anywhere I turn, I have somebody that is like there for me the way I'm there for them, and we're on this path together. And the people who judge me or who have negativity, like they've self-selected out of my life at this point.
1,000%. And that's so important for everyone to hear, because we get there in time, right? We all at first, because also we talk to women, and you're a people pleaser somewhere on the spectrum, and don't tell me you're not. And if you're not, it's because you did the work around not being that anymore. For the same reason why we all have control stuff go on, right? And it's all good, you guys. It's upbringing, it's patriarchy, it's meaning, it's how we were raised, it's all those things. And nobody is immune to it. No. We have the opportunity to shift it and work on it. Right? Yep. So I love that you're just pointing that out, because that's also a call to why we need to show up more and more and more and more. And this is not about Corona. Just in general, please show up more. Cultivate the space to where the community forms around the energy that you're emitting.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Show up, and show up some more in who you are, how you are, in the way that feels best for you. Delivering the message without thinking about, should I say it like that? Maybe I should word it like this. I'm not really sure. No, just show up and speak.
Yep. Be yourself.
Yeah. And that's when these gorgeous tribes happen. That's when real community of safety and vulnerability can happen and occur, because it's so whole and so loving and so unapologetic and so real.
Yep. Let's talk about the specific ways that you are serving and making income right now. Like, I'd love to have a conversation about what this looks like in actual practice. Mm-hmm. Because I want people to see, hey, here are the ways, that we're choosing to do this. This is not theoretical, like real time. How are you serving? How are you continuing to create opportunities for clients and income in your business?
Yes. So I serve private clients, right? So that's something that I have going on. Yep. And I have my mastermind group that I'm still serving, that's happening, that, we've been in this together. We're going to continue to do it. So that's also an interesting conversation for creating things that have revenue over time, right? So that you can be, treating your business like a business. I think that's another interesting thing that we could probably do a few shows about. We want to serve so much, and we're coaches and we're healers, and we're not really understanding what it means to throw the hat on of business, refinement, focus, predictable income, and creating a business out of this thing, right? So that, and of course I have my book, which is always circulating. And We're the Human Live happened in January, which is my live event, which is still happening in next January. And that's going to be great. It's going to start getting promoted. Oh, you will be there.
I will be. I will no longer have a baby on the boob. I'm going to be there.
That's correct. That's correct. So, I'm still behind the scenes working on promo videos for it, gathering the testimonials, doing all that. But one of the things that happened for me, and then I had my TEDx in February, right? So which will be out soon, I promise, and it will be a game changer. But to really get into the answer to your question, so what am I doing now that wasn't kind of in play before, right?
Yep.
I didn't change anything. I'm not actually creating anything in response to this, because that doesn't feel good to me either. That's not what I'm trying to do. I have had this plan of something I've been creating. It's called the Elevation Experience.
Ooh, love
And I started working on it in mid-February, right after the Worthy Human Live and my own breakthroughs.
Mhm.
And I've been working on it. And now the copy is finally done for all the landing pages. And it's going to be a 7-day micro course,
Cool.
live experience that's going to roll into something brand new that I'm announcing. That's going to roll into my Mind Magic group online course that I teach live. So for me, I haven't changed. I'm not changing the pace. I'm not changing when I release it. It's just exactly what I'm doing, as if nothing happened outside of me. The only difference to how I'm showing up now is I'm just showing up more. I'm an inner work guru. So I'm here to help people access their calm and their peace. So for me, I'm just doing I'm giving out free sleep hypnosis. I'm doing tons of lives. I'm always available. So it's just more about elevated availability.
Yep.
But everything's happening the same way it was always going to happen.
Yeah. I love that.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I have like,
Tell me about you.
I have like a yes and. So,
Okay.
So I am actually in the middle of an affiliate launch right now, which has been super interesting because of this collective of women who are serving this affiliate for Selena Sue's Impacting Millions.
Yep.
And she's a personal friend, and I'm such a believer in like the power of visibility and publicity to grow your business. I'm living proof of it, right? And so, and she offers something I don't. So even though I'm not your typical like affiliate type person, I don't have a huge list or anything like that. I was like, I have had this vision since last May of taking a cohort of women who basically I want to help them get famous, whatever famous means for them, so that they can serve, right?
Right.
And taking this work and adding my own superpowers to it and creating this amazing experience. And so I caught myself having that conversation because this is a new thing for me, right? So it's new. So my brain's like, wait, it doesn't count. Like my work is fine. This is new, you know?
Yeah.
And I caught myself having this conversation. I was like, no, actually the women I serve, just like you, are game changers. We need their voices in the media that's freaking out more than ever right now. Like this is not a reason to step back. This is a reason to step up, right? And so I've got that going on. And then, you know, the only way I've been working with people for, since my baby was born 9 months ago is for 6 months, in like one-on-one. And I had this thought in meditation the other morning. I went in and I asked myself, like, how can I be of most service? And what came out was like opening up some half-day intensives to help people leverage this intense time that they have. I haven't offered those since, you know, before she was born. And I was like, this is a way people can get in, get out, and get on with it. I know it works, right? And so like, I only have a few of those because hello, I have a house full of people to manage, right? Yeah. But it was like, there's no false FOMO. There's no false scarcity. It's just like, this is a way I can serve. Some people are going to watch our free lives and that's what they need right now.
Totally.
Some people are going to buy our books and that's what they need right now. Some people need our one-on-one support or your course or Impacting Millions or whatever. And like, that's great, right? Yes, there's something like, you know, normally I think there's this way in which we kind of like promote one thing at a time as business owners, which is like solid, you know, be clear on what you're offering. It's solid business advice. But right now I was just having a conversation with our mutual assistant and I was like, oh, I need to share about this thing and this thing and this thing. And it was just like, it doesn't matter. It's all going to go up. I said, our intention is that the right people see the right things at the right time.
Yes.
And everything is in service.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter.
Yes, exactly. And we don't get to decide what becomes in service or of service for people. That's where, you know, we put forth everything that feels good to us. And I think that's the other kicker, right? You never create from a place of should, supposed to, this is what everybody else is doing, because that is a fast way to not have it land the way you want it to and to be out of alignment with your truth, right? But if you are just feeling it, right? And to your point, what was called to you is half-day intensives. That sounds amazing. And it's going to feel good and it's going to hit the people that need it because of where it came from. Yep. When I asked that question initially last weekend, when this whole thing was coming upon us, I woke up with panic to peace. And it's a 90-minute free training. It's a live stream. And I banged it out. I banged the whole thing out in like 15 minutes. And then I came online and I did it, right? And as we continue to get in touch with ourselves, which I think this is a great aside, just thing to know, you guys, pause, breathe, meditate, go inward, shut down the world and ask the question you need the answer to.
Yep.
And trust that the answer is going to come forth, whether it's within 5 minutes or you awaken with it the next day.
Yep.
And then move your ass and act on it. Right? Because, and this could change next week. I could have a different answer for you. I might say, oh, this and this. Oh, and this happened. And now I'm doing this.
Yep.
Because you get to make your own rules because you own your own business.
Yeah.
What a win.
Yeah. And frankly, like this is one of the biggest things. I talk a lot about employee mindset versus entrepreneur mindset. And we're all trained for the most part, unless you got to go to like a super progressive school, to be really good employees from the time we start school. And so when we get out, we get a job because that's what we were trained to do, right? All the way through. And then it's like, okay, respond to boss. Okay, job description. Okay, then I get my raise. Okay, then I get my thing until something happens, right? Some disruption in our lives, like a layoff, or we go through a divorce or something that shakes us up and go, oh, wait a minute, I have to question the rules because I followed them and it didn't work out for me, you know?
Yes.
Or maybe you just have your desire to run your own business like I did. And so I think one of the biggest keys that you could take away from this is the key to entrepreneurial success, in my opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, Tracy, is learning to trust yourself. Learning to listen to yourself and trust yourself, and recognizing strategically that the opportunities that we have to run our online businesses are like unprecedented. So our brains just aren't used to it. So most of society is like, you can't do that. What do you do? Like, you know, I still get those questions all the time from my family, and I've been in business 5 years, you know, what is it? I don't get it. Whatever. It's fine. You're not my target audience. So forget it. But really, really learning to just what you said, go inward. And, you know, you don't have to have all the answers now. It's a process. I'm still working on this every day. How do I trust myself? How do I tune out all the noise? Trust myself that I'm going to show up like the way that I am designed, the things that make me happy, right? The things that make you happy, the ways that we want to serve. Yeah. And that's good and beautiful. And that the more of us who do that, like the world is served, right? Like the more of us who give back to the causes we're passionate about, instead of going, well, I have to do it this way because that's what someone else says. I really believe if we listen to ourselves, like the things we're passionate about, that we were born being passionate about, like I think that collectively the whole world is served if we listen to our guts on that. And if we give back and serve the causes that are important to us, right? And not only like who we serve one-to-one, but who we give money to, who we volunteer for, all that stuff. Like this is such a rant of mine, obviously.
I love it. Keep coming.
It's the trust of like, I know best. It's not someone else going, you need to buy my thing and that will solve your problem. Mm-hmm. You do not need a better free plan to be successful in your business. What you need is either to figure out what it is that you are uniquely gifted to do and the way that you want to do it and do that, or get some help, because the best coaches, and I know you're like this too, Tracy, which is why we're friends. The best coaches are not about shoving you into their system. They are about helping you uncover you and build a successful business around that, right?
Amen. Glory, hallelujah. Round of claps. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Because you are spot on. The key to entrepreneurial success is trusting yourself, right? Relationship to self. So the kind of coaching that we do, it's, why don't you trust yourself? What happened to you? What's going on? That's what we get to uncover so that you can become your own engine, right? Because once you do and you realize, and I'll tell you, this is interesting and a beautiful thing to share. I remember when I started my business, it was like ignorance is bliss. I didn't know better. So I was just doing all the things and it was amazing. And it was humming. And then I got about, we'll call it 16 months in, and I started getting infiltrated with emails and Facebook ads and all of these different things, which, by the way, I love. I use Facebook ads, so this is not a discount of that. But I stopped being in my ignorance is bliss, which really was me fully trusting myself and going, that sounds fun. I'll do that. Right? Like my first group program, and you guys, I have to just make this relative for you, those that don't know me. I have now served thousands of women globally. I am a TEDx speaker. I am a best-selling author. I am in the cast of the second season of The Social Movement on Amazon Prime docuseries for next year. And it's only been 3.5 years.
Yes.
Okay. My first group program was, I want to do that. I want to have some women in my living room for a few Tuesday nights in a row. Right. And ignorance is bliss. And I just banged it out and had 6 gorgeous women for 6 weeks, and we had a blast. Right. So somewhere along the line, I allowed myself to get distracted and pay attention to things outside of myself. And as a result, ended up with a $27,000 failure. Mm-hmm. Because I bought into 2 systems. And again, I'm also not knocking systems if that's what's in alignment to you. I'm only speaking to my experience. Yeah. And I kind of abdicated all of my power, which is a big part of my work now with women too. Because once you've lived through something, you're an expert in it. Yeah. Right? I abdicated all of my power and gave $18,000 to one group that said they knew how to help me get there, and $9,000 to another program. And both of them flopped colossally. Right? Mm-hmm. And that's when I went, oh, I stopped trusting myself. Yes. But it was through that epic failure, time, money, energy, right? It's not like I'm not sitting on piles of gold here where $27,000 is like $20, right? So, and then I realized that, came back to trusting myself. And then the only investment I made after that for quite some time was a mindset coach. Yeah. To just align me into what the hell happened there.
Yep.
How'd you fall off the rails?
Yep.
Right? Blah, blah, blah. So trusting yourself is the answer. And I also just want to highlight one total tweetable, not like I'm on Twitter, so I don't even know why I just said that. But you said before, this is not the time to step down. It's the time to step up. That read just like, I just need that. That's a Christine quotable. So I just need to say that again, because that is what we need right now.
Yes. That's what we want you to do. That's our like dream and our wish and our intention and our desire for you, and why we are sitting here right now.
Right. Exactly. Because for us, behind the scenes prior to coming out publicly, it's just like, what can we do and how can we show up to support, serve, and awaken you to the fact that this is about keep going, show up more and more and more, guard yourself from everybody else's fears and externals. Don't judge it, but don't let it in. Right. That's exactly. A fine line, right? Of just like, okay. And then white lighting yourself, doing some EFT for those of you who do emotional freedom technique, use these practices to come back here.
Yep.
And here. I'm here to serve.
Yep.
I'm here to make a massive impact. I'm playing the long game. I'm here for the legacy play. Okay. And I'll say something else. If you came into this world as a business owner for a fast rise, you will fall hard. Mm-hmm. Because those of you that are not in it for the long game and the legacy will not make it.
That's true.
And let me tell you something else, not because of Corona. Okay. Corona is just like a amplification of what you need to see in your areas of opportunity and your growth in yourself.
That's your tweetable, my friend.
Right? It is. It's just shining a big ass light going, hello. Do you see these things?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I love that. And Tracy, I love that our organic conversation, you have so beautifully set up a segue. It's like we're speaking from our intuition here. I would love to hear, because I know you've put together some resources for people to help. We both have, or to help people. So I would love to hear what those are and how we can access them.
Yay. So the first resource is I am giving everyone my uninterrupted sleep hypnosis. So I am also a hypnotherapist, in addition to being a spiritual advisor and a mindset teacher. And this is all about immune boosting, right? And if you're not sleeping, which is super also reasonable and normal given the chaos, it's really going to suppress you, and we don't want that. So that's something that you're going to get from me, and it's amazing. And you'll just like, clients who have had sleep issues that use it are like, I didn't want to even wake up. Like, I was in such a deep sleep that it was amazing. So I want you to really enjoy that. And then also the book, right? Which I know your book too. I have both of our books. You guys look how fun is this when you go after your dreams? Okay. Because look what we have now. Like, it's so amazing, right? Because it's like, you kind of forget, oh, look at this awesome thing I did.
I wrote a book? What? Do you forget sometimes? I'm like, I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Literally the other day, wait, so do I forget sometimes? The other day, literally 2 days ago, in another beautiful entrepreneurial group I'm in, she did a post on, drop anything under $100, like, let's support, because you guys spend money. You go support your fellow entrepreneurs, okay? Yeah. What would abundance do? Show up and spend some. So it was a thread, and my first comment was, I don't have anything in the under 100 mark right now because my elevation experience isn't out yet. And then I went, oh my God, I'm so wrong. I have a best-selling book. What am I saying? How ridiculous is that? So I clearly forget that I wrote a book. Right. But these are our books.
And listen,
look at sexy time.
Gosh, stop it. Thank
you. My God, you're so beautiful.
Okay. I love you. So are you. And listen, we both have audio versions. And so I know that for a lot of us, like, we're consuming even more than ever. Christina's not like tucked up in bed reading a book right now. I am listening to audiobooks, meditations, trainings like this one. And usually while I'm doing something else, right? So consider the audiobook versions, because we read them and you can have us in your pocket. And I really feel like I love your book so much. And we were talking about this before. I love it because it's like, it's both a great intro to mindset, but also like a really deep level, for saying from someone who's been studying this stuff at a really deep level for years now. And so I found it super like motivating and helpful. And what I would love to see you all do is use that book to get your head in the right place. And then my book can help you with like the specific actions for building that business online from anywhere, right? So they're like the perfect combination, this power like duo to really help you knock it out of the park during this meantime, no matter how much time there is.
Yes.
They're both on Amazon.
They are.
How do people access the meditation?
If you send an email, I'm just making it super simple.
Great.
Send an email to hello@thelittfactor.com. And my beautiful Melissa, who you know, will send you the hypnosis.
Easy peasy.
Like, done. That's it. But that's the other thing too. In any times like this, sometimes we like think, well, I need to have this and I got to have a fancy page and I got to have this and I got to have that. Nope. No. You just have to have an email address or a way to deliver what you want to deliver. Exactly. And let's just cut through the noise and make it really easy. So just know the Litt Factor has 2 T's. That's the only important thing. hello@thelitt, Litt factor.com. Put sleep hypnosis in the subject line and say, can I have it, please? And you'll get it. That's it.
That's perfect. That's perfect. And so after you are done having an amazing night's sleep, I'm going to grab that. I'm excited. I have something called the 5-minute focus formula, which is, that's for a lot of us, let's face it, that's all we have, right? It might be all we have in chunks. So we might have a lot of 5-minute chunks, but I'm not waiting around for the double nap trifecta to happen in my life right now to keep moving forward with my business. So 5-minute focus formula, if you have 5 minutes a day to work with this, it will help you distill the biggest thing that you could be doing to grow your business right now and actually start doing it. A lot of people are procrastinating right now because they're feeling overwhelmed. 5-minute focus formula will help you move past that. I had a lady who said she used it to do her taxes. You probably have a lot more exciting things to do in your business than your taxes. So lifewithpassion.com/focus, easy peasy. You'll get it instantly. Use the sleep hypnosis, use our audiobooks, use the 5-minute focus formula to cocoon yourself in possibility and set yourself up for success, not only now, but as you look back on this period, right?
Yeah.
As you look back on this time in history, not only maybe having dance parties with your kids, which I'm totally doing, and I'm sure you
yeah.
have some really fun traditions.
I just did, I've always done Shake Your Ass Fridays as part of the Litt Factor movement. So I did Shake Your Ass Friday on Tuesday, special quarantine edition, because I just needed it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
So you can also access that if you want to have a perpetual dance party and you go to the Litt Factor business page and click videos, you'll see a whole Shake Your Ass playlist.
Oh, that's perfect.
Videos are in there. Yeah.
That's perfect. I'm going to use that too.
And I also have to say, when you said the double nap try, like that was the funniest thing, because it's so true. When we're really talking about right now, in the parts that are right now specific.
Yeah.
And you're like feeling like I need all of this time in order to move anything forward. It's like, no, that's not the way that, especially you have little kids. I have big kids.
Yeah.
Right. It's just not the way that it works. So I love that. And I think a lot of people are going to crack up at that comment. It's so true.
It's so true. Oh, someone make a meme out of that for us. But,
exactly.
But yeah, we are here to serve. Our DMs are open, right?
Yes,
our emails are open. Let us know how we can help. And Tracy, any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? Compassion.
Yes.
Compassion for yourself and compassion for everybody else around you.
Yes.
Okay. Lots of grace. No self-flagellation. No self-judgment. Okay. And real grace. You are doing a great job. You are doing a great job. And if up until now, maybe you were hedging and maybe this was the talk that you just needed, yay, right?
Yeah.
And now know that you are actually one choice away at every single moment.
Yes.
And make the choices of the woman in the vision. Don't make the choices of the woman who's at home dealing with coronavirus, because this is a blip on the radar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Make the empowered choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Show up.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know how you're doing that so we can cheer you on. Seriously.
Yes.
That stuff fuels us so much. Like if you go do something, we want to check it out. We want to see it. We want to cheer you on.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for having this conversation with me, Tracy.
Oh, I had a blast. I could do this all day with you.
Me too. Yeah.
This is awesome. We'll have to come back again and do something. So, and that's, I think, the last thing I would say, if you're watching the replay of this, because this is both going to be podcasted and Facebook Live, ask us questions.
Yes.
You can tag at Christine McAlister. You can tag at Tracy Litt or at Litt Factor, and then we'll see it. If you don't tag us, we don't see the question as easily.
Right.
But please, because we can come back and respond together or individually on our platforms, giving you the insight or giving you the coaching that you need.
Yes. And giving you resources too, right? Like if we have a blog post, an article, a video or whatever, we'll tag all that stuff up too. We need you to ask.
Correct.
We know how to help.
1,000%. I think that's gorgeous close. Yes. Yes.
Sending you all so much love and looking forward to continuing this conversation online.
Yes. Show up. Show up. We love you.
Love you.